Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be making a request from one of our viewers. I'll be making another version of Kopai. Let's start cooking. Let me show you my ingredients. All-purpose flour, brown sugar, white sugar, Saigo, evaporated milk, hot water, and cold water. I'm adding white sugar to the flour and I'm stirring it to mix these two ingredients together. So I am doing the same process with the original kopais that I made, or dumplings that I made, for those who are not familiar with kopai. I'll quickly explain. This is one of our Samoan favorite dish, or Polynesian. I know the Tongans do it too, and they call it topai. Okay, but what it is, it's just dumplings boiled for quite some time to cook in the boiling water, and then we make the caramel sauce to go with, or for us Samoans, we use the koko Samoa. So I will explain for those who are not familiar with this dish, kopai. So I mix the sugar in here, and I am now going to add some water. Okay, I'll start with that first. Now, and what I'm doing here is I'm just making a dough. I'm making a dough, a simple dough for me, to do or to make dumplings. Okay, I'll add a little bit more water. There's nothing majestic about this dough. Okay, that sugar that we've added earlier, it's just to sweeten the dumpling a little bit. But you'll get the rest of the flavors as we go along with the rest of the ingredients, or when we make the caramel. Okay, I am happy with that. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and give it a little knead with my hands, making sure that all the dry flour is fully combined into the dough. And that is it. We will put it aside and we will start boiling our water. Let's go ahead and add our hot water. So I'm adding about 5 to 6 cups. So I'm following the measurements on my kettle here. And I'm going to spare 1 cup of water. So I am starting with that. We will probably add more water later on, but I'm starting with 5 cups of water for now. Okay, and we'll turn the oven on, put the lid back on, and we will let that boil. So this is a 3-liter pot I'm using, and I've used 5 cups. This is big enough to make a kopai that will be enough for 5 people or 6, 5 to 6 servings, Polynesian kind of servings. And I will link my other kopai flavors that I made earlier. And with this one, I am adding Saigo. So right now, while our water is boiling, I'm going to add some water to our Saigo, and that will soak. Hope you can see from there, and that will soak our Saigo for a little bit and make it softer and quicker to cook when we add it to the kopai. Okay, so this is the packet of Saigo or tapioca pearls, the mini size of tapioca pearls. We normally use the plain white one, I could only find this colorful ones, different colors. So that's the one I'm using. But originally, when we were in the islands, we used the normal plain white ones. Okay, so whatever you have, tapioca pearls or Saigo, you can find it in the supermarket or your local Asian grocer. They have these, and that's what I'm using today. Okay, if you can see from there, my water's about to boil. Okay, you might be able to see the bubbles. Right now I'm going to start creating my dumplings. Okay, so I would go with my spoon here, and you can go ahead and form a little dough ball from using your spoon and then dump it in the water. All right, you can make whatever size. If you want to make it smaller or bigger, go ahead and make the sizes according to your preference. Now, and I'm also dipping my spoon back in the water. I've got a bowl of water here, and then I go, with the spoon and just try and create a dough ball. Now, in the meantime, I will turn my oven a bit low. Okay, it's now on medium low because I don't want to overcook the other dough balls while I'm still making more. Oven is on medium low, and we'll continue on adding more to the pot. Hope you can see from there. And if you want perfect round balls, go ahead and use your hands and roll it with your hands. Okay, and I'll keep stirring, making sure these dough balls doesn't stick to the bottom of the pot. I have just added a little bit of flour to the side of my dough. Reason being is that I'm going to use my hands and roll some dough balls. Sometimes I don't know if it's a weakness for me, but I like my cooking to perfection. Not that I want perfection, but I like to have a really nice round ball of dough, close as I can. I mean, it might not be quite exactly round, but I want to make sure that I put my efforts in my cooking. So that's why I'm adding more flour. Okay, you see now? Whoa, that just went right in the pot. Okay, perfection there. A nice round ball of dough. Okay, our tapioca pearls is almost cooked. Okay, once they turn clear, then that means it's ready. Okay, so I will give it a few more minutes, and we should be okay to move on to the next step of our recipe. Okay, I'll keep stirring for a few more minutes. Hope you can see from there. Look at the nice round balls of dumplings. If you ask me what's the preferred way for me personally, is I prefer doing it with my hands, clean hands. Roll it. Not only it comes out nice and round, but you're also pressing in the actual dough, and it becomes firm. And that's why, if you can see, I'll see if I can bring up one to show you. See, that one is nice and round. And then I'll see the other ones. I'll see if I can bring up the one I did with the spoon. These were the ones that I did with the spoon. Okay, it's sort of like hollow, and it's in a different shape. Which again, it doesn't matter, but it's, it's how I want it, and hopefully you don't mind my explanation. Okay, the Saigo's nearly cooked. If you don't like the colourful Saigo, go ahead and use the normal plain white. They didn't have the normal plain one. They had a lot of these colourful ones, but they didn't have the plain ones that we normally use. What I'll do, I will put it on the side for now, and we will go ahead and caramelize our sugar. Okay, I'm gonna keep stirring our sugar here. Okay, I don't want to burn this because we don't want to burn taste or smell in our kopai, just like we do with our other recipes that we have to caramelize the sugar. Same thing with the kopai. Okay, you can still taste the burnt and that bitter taste of burnt sugar. So the same applies for the kopai, and we don't want that to happen to our kopai as well. So let me turn the oven low a little bit. Okay, so this is the part where you need to be very careful. I'm going to slowly add my hot water here. Okay, be very careful. Move back a bit if you like. Okay. 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 Add a little bit more hot water. Let this boil for a little bit to make sure our sugar is fully dissolved. Okay, that might take a few more minutes. All right, and then we'll cool it down completely. In the meantime, I will open my can of evaporated milk. Okay, and right now I'm going to add my evaporated milk. And then I'll stir that, mixing the milk and the caramelized or caramel sugar. So this is the same process that we will use for our steamed pudding. So I will put that aside and I'll bring our pot back on the oven or the stove. Look at that, beautiful. And you know, it's starting to thicken as well. And that's why I love this method. The tapioca pearls or the Saigo thickens the juice of the kopai. Okay, so right now we're going to add our evaporated milk and caramel sugar that we've cooked earlier. All of that in the pot, and then we will give it a good stir. Can you see that nice beautiful color of kopai now, friends? And you can see the Saigo as well. Okay, the only thing we need to do now is bring it back to the boil. Let's boil it for a couple more minutes. Now, for those who love kopai, wouldn't you like waking up to a nice pot of kopai like this in the morning? If you do, and especially our viewers who requested for me to make this version of kopai, I hope you like this recipe and I hope you give it a try. I will add everything like I usually do. I'll give you all the ingredients, the measurements, and if you do make this recipe, I would really love your feedback and let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear from you. Now, I'll also do some explanation while I'm still on the recipe. You notice the traditional way or the recipe of Kopai, these videos that my son and I made earlier, we used coconut cream. We added coconut cream to the Kopai, and that is our traditional way of making. We add coconut cream. In the islands, we add the fresh ones. Overseas, we use the cans. This recipe, or this version, I don't use coconut cream. I am using evaporated milk. I prefer that way. I like it because I like it with Saigo too. For some odd reasons, I don't like adding the coconut cream. But feel free, go ahead and add it if you like to. But I prefer this way. So let me know if you do add the coconut cream and see, what taste, you prefer with or without the coconut cream. So I spoke about the leftover flour here that I was going to use at the end of the recipe. The traditional way, we will make a slurry from the leftover flour here, and it's in my original video as well. Okay, so you add water, make a slurry, and then you add it to the pot, and that makes it thicker. With this recipe, we don't need to add it, okay, because the Saigo, it's thickening the Kopai. So there's no need to add. I knew we didn't need it, but I wanted to explain to you the difference with this version and the original. And I can smell that beautiful smell of evaporated milk already. All right, we'll give it a taste to see if we need to add more sugar or enough sugar already. So let me say my prayers. Yum. That is really nice. This is really nice with a nice French bread on the side. Really nice combination together. A nice fresh bread with a nice Kopai, warm Kopai. I'm happy with the sweetness, but like I said before, make it your own. Make it to the way you like, sweetness and taste. So if you want to make it a bit more sweeter, add more sugar. But thank you so much. I hope you like this recipe and I hope you give it a try, especially for those who enjoy this Kopai dish a lot. Our traditional Samoan breakfast dish, which is dumplings cooked in hot water and then caramelize the sugar and add evaporated milk and hot water, mix it together and then add it to the pot along with tapioca pearls or Saigo. That's a bit of information about our other version of Kopai. I hope you enjoy that. And stay tuned for my next recipe. I will be making a Vietnamese inspired recipe. So that's going to be my next video. So come back or stay tuned for another recipe, which is a Vietnamese inspired recipe or dish. Thank you to all those who continue to support my channel, to our wonderful members. Thank you so much for your support and for paying the membership fee to help my channel. And if you are not a member yet and you like to support this channel, please go ahead and click the join button below this video. I appreciate you all and thank you again for watching. See you next time. Bye.